you have to feel good about the Pittsburgh Pirates this year, man. They're playing some good baseball. Right?
Playing some good baseball. I feel good about the Penguins too. Thanks for asking.
Well, that's all right. I'm a homeboy, so you know.
Yeah.
You got to do it.
That's what I say every time I see you. He's a homeboy.
There you go.
He's a homeboy.
So how you feeling, buddy?
Feeling good. Feeling good.
Physically, everything going well for you?
Physically things are well. You know, up and down. Sometimes I don't get enough sleep when I come to Vegas, but other than that, you know, 5-hour energy. You know, we solve it.
Right.
Yeah.
And what are you looking for now? I mean, you know, who are you looking for in your next fight? I'm trying to say, you know, what do you have going for you?
You know, I don't really look for fights. Fights just find me. That's just the way I do things. That's just the way I run it.
All right.
So I'm just going to sit back and wait on my couch for something to happen, and I'll answer the phone and fly wherever I need to fly to.
Okay.
How did it feel during your last fight to take out somebody rather that had called you out?
Well, I mean, that's what I do. That's what I do. He calls me out, you know, you want to fight? Cool, I'll fight you. It's not a problem. All you have to do is say, please, do you want to fight? You want to fight? I'll fight you.
There was so much neck talk leading up to that one. After the fight, what was the case between you two? Was it resolved at all, or did you speak?
It was cool. After the fight, it was cool. You know, he just came to the bat. We were chit-chatting in the locker rooms, and he was a gentleman. Vinny's a gentleman, so it was all good.
What are your thoughts on Glover Teixeira tonight against James Sahuna? Are you going to be keeping your eye on that one?
Yeah, might as well keep your eye on it. I don't have a fight book, so, you know, might as well keep your eye on it, see what happens.
If there were to come some instance where maybe Glover, let's say, were to call you out or vice versa, what would you think of that kind of matchup in the two top 10 opponents going against each other?
Whoa. If so you're saying, let me, okay, I'm gonna say what you said.
One or the other, if you call each other out and you fight. What would you think about that matchup?
So if Glover were to win tonight, perhaps. And then he went on to call me out. Did he call me out on Facebook or on Twitter? Those are two different things.
Might be Twitter.
Okay, because you say it in front of my nephews on Facebook. All right. Anyhow, you know, I don't turn down fights. That's what I do. That's what I love to do.
Would you be interested in an opponent like him?
Always. He's a good fighter. He's a top 10 guy. You know, whether top 10 or not top 10, if Joe Silva says this is the guy you're going to fight, I say, when do we fight?
You still doing all your training at Alliance? Or are you mixing things up these days?
Still doing all my training at Alliance.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing wrong with that. I can't get away from San Diego, even if I try.
Yeah.
So.
How's Dominic's recovery going? I know the poor guy's had a hard time.
You know, Dominic is, he's good, man. He's doing so well. And a lot of people want to know when he's coming back, And it's one of those things you don't want to put a date on it, because then it becomes a benchmark of your success up to that point. And that's just not the way your body works. You know, some kids, you know, I mean, it's one of those things, you know. You never know when you're going to be ready to go. But he's doing really well. He's doing excellent.
So I saw you the other day. We're hanging out at the wrestling event. Jordan Burroughs, the dude, 54-0. That kid is unbelievable, but he says he's not sure he's going to go to MMA after. Any way you could convince him?
I don't care if I have to apply actual force to Jordan Burroughs. He's going to be a fighter.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Simple as that. He's going to be a fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to have to do. You know, threaten him or something. I don't know.
Speaking of that, you and Uriah Faber have put together something for the Expo in July, a kind of MMA draft, the first of its kind.
The first of its kind.
How did this come about?
Uriah and I, we were speaking about some things, and he and I, we just decided to put it together. I really wanted to develop something to be able to give back to the wrestling community, and he's one of those guys. He's good at everything. He really is. He's one of those guys who's good at everything. You have a friend that's good at everything, you kind of hate him at the same time, you know, that you like him. He's one of those guys. And so we came up with this idea to be able to give back to the amateur athletes. MMA is, I'd say, 9/10 at the amateur level. And these guys are, you know, in order to be a professional athlete, you struggle most of the time. I'm struggling right now. Let's start there. You know, and so on. So it's just a way to be able to give the amateur guys a platform to be seen, to get their name out there, and really gain some traction before they start their professional career.
I'd seen that you were at a camp, the Team Alpha Male camp. Were you and Uriah maybe doing any kind of drafting on your own? Like, were you guys scouting out guys around different areas? Have you worked on that together? Or how will the scouting process work out to bring these guys in? Are they applying?
Well, Uriah, he's a machine, okay? Before I even came to Uriah with my idea for MMA draft, Uriah finds all these, you know, like 3 foot tall, 30-pound kids, and he brings them straight into Alpha Male. All right, and Joseph Benavidez was the first guy. I was just kidding. I was just kidding. Anyhow, but his guys up at Alpha Male, his team is a great amateur team. They all love him, and they're all super talented. I saw some of these kids compete, and they're super talented. So when I came to him with MMA draft, he was all about it. Wait, I missed your question.
Oh, that's okay. I was wondering how you guys will bring these guys in to be at the expo. Are you taking applications, or is there a website they can go to, or are you guys actively scouting them yourselves?
Well, some of the top kids in the nation, we are actively recruiting ourselves. But luckily, the expo is such an amazing event that most of MMA's top studs are going to be in town anyway. And for, you know, there's a grappling tournament that weekend as well. So.
Can you give your thoughts on the main card today? Like, who's going to win the fights?
Name the fight.
Velasquez against Bigfoot?
I like Bigfoot, but I think Cain Velasquez is going to win.
Junior Dos Santos against Hunt?
That's a tough one, you know. If I were Junior, I'll call him Junebug. That's what I call him. If I were Junebug, I would say I would wrestle him. I would wrestle Mark Hunt, but I don't know Mark Hunt's wrestling. I haven't trained with him, so I mean, I would say that wrestling will work against him, but I don't know. I haven't trained with him. But yeah, and you know, if he goes out and he could very well take him down and you know, do some ground and pound and just kind of mix it up with him there. Big guy like that, one thing you don't like doing is standing up. Okay, it's not fun. So I imagine if he did a whole lot of getting taken down and standing back up, it's pretty tiring for a big guy. So. And
Glover against Tehuna?
Glover against Tehuna. You know, I'm going to go with the underdog on this. A lot of people aren't picking Tehuna, but even though he may not be as crisp as Glover, I think he makes up for it in just being an athlete. Not that Glover isn't an athlete, but he is. I mean, he's one of those guys. He's a young guy, and he's a good rugby tackle. You know what I mean? He just kind of like just gets after it.
So Phil, you know, we saw that you had a couple of personal problems before the last fight. I'll phrase it that way. I don't know what's going on with that, but I know your fans certainly want to know. I know what things were being said, and a lot of us find them hard to believe. Some people may believe it. I don't know. I just wondered if you had a comment on that.
You know, I really can't comment on it too much, but obviously everything you see on the internet is not true.
Really?
Yeah, no, yeah. And I'm a French model. It's crazy. Bonjour.
But that's getting worked out, and you feel good about how it's going to work out?
It's been worked out.
Yeah.
It's been worked out.
So can you always talk about, you know, working through the distraction of that, the timing of it that week in Newark, that it came out publicly like that 3 days before the fight? How did you work through that to be ready for that fight?
Distractions aren't necessarily something that's new to me. If you've ever had to lose 20 pounds, study for an exercise physiology final, and go against one of the top guys in the nation and in the Big Ten, then you can handle it. You know, it's obviously it's a different kind of distraction, but you know, it's it just comes down to stress. It just put a lot of stress on me, and you know, you just got to be able to segment your life. You know, when you go to work, you work. When you go home, you don't bring your work home with you. So
those other kind of distractions you talked about, though, are ones that nobody else necessarily knows that are going on. Not 10 million people on Twitter. And so as you're having to work through those distractions, you've also got people saying or believing what they're going to believe, and you're kind of helpless to do anything about it at that point, right?
Yeah. I mean, I can't stop people from thinking things, but you know, I just gotta, you know, all I can do is be me.
So, first time I interviewed you a few years ago, we were joking about how you spend your money, your bonus money. I think you said you took a holiday all the way in San Diego from Chula Vista, which was like 3 exits away or something like that. And maybe you bought a TV or anything like. Since then, has your life gotten a little larger? You living the dream?
Not really. Not really. No, I'm saving up. I can't tell you what I'm going to buy because then it like ruins everything. If you say what you're going to buy before you buy it, so it might like go up in price instead of going on sale. That happens sometimes. Don't tell anybody. You tell somebody you want it, it'll go up.
But you're still living pretty humbly. You don't allow yourself any toys after you win a fight or anything.
Nah, not really. No, let's see what I did. I had to renew my Xbox Live membership. Yeah. I tell you what I didn't do. Didn't fix the screen on my phone.
No.
Keeping the gangster. Everybody see that?
It's a spider web app.
Yeah, it's a spider web app. Yeah.
Shenanigans can happen in Vegas.
So,
probably better that way.
Yeah, exactly. Now it doesn't get rebroke in Vegas.
Right.
Exactly. So, problem solved.
There you go.
One more, guys.
Phil, I heard that you got up to as high as blue belt in jiu-jitsu, and I heard from somewhere that you don't really put a lot of weight into that you still kind of feel like you're a white belt. Can you kind of elaborate or confirm anything on that?
Yeah. A lot of people call me a blue belt long before I was a blue belt because I competed at blue belt. Very confusing stuff. But yeah, I have a blue belt now, and it mostly just sits on the shelf. I don't really train in the gi. But I don't know. The whole belt thing, I think, is overrated. It's hard to really, and frankly, I think it's better if I don't have an official belt ranking because then people don't know what to think when they get on the mat with me. It's he's just a blue belt. And I'm fine with that. I prefer to be a white belt. Did I tell you that? I almost tried to blue belt down, but
did you?
I did. Almost did.
What convinced you to say okay?
You don't want to disrespect anybody. Like, oh, it's too soon. It's been 3 years. I don't want a blue belt.
3 years is kind of a long time to get to blue belt, I was going to say.
Well, in wrestling, it's not.
In jiu-jitsu, specifically jiu-jitsu, in 3 years at white belt, it's kind of like, are you even coming in and rolling at all?
Well, yeah. Listen, I take my time, okay? I take my time. I'm very
someone's particular. Calling you out over here.
Yeah, I think so.
From what I understand. Yeah. I'm not gonna roll.
So
with
you're
him.
saying you understand a lot, huh?
I do understand.
All right.
However, I want a clarification from you as well.
They call him the professor.
The professor, huh?
Yeah.
Where does this compare to Facebook and Twitter call-outs?
You better not be on Facebook. I get done. It better not be on Facebook. Yeah. No, there's no rush. I mean, if I'm a black belt tomorrow, what changes?
Color of your belt.
Color of my belt. And I don't even wear pants most days. I wear shorts. So another belt that sits on the shelf. So I mean, yeah, nothing changes. The right people. I think when people get into a fight with me, they will know that going to the ground is a dangerous situation, regardless.
Last one? You all good?
I'm cutting that interview off, and I normally don't wear pants.
Yeah. I think that's where I hit stop too.
Just stop the edit and make you look real good.
I have to say, I'm looking at though. I'm a little distracted by the ashiness, though, Phil. You're in Vegas. It's dry. It's dry. No, you're ashy. You need to get. Listen.
You know what happens when you take a shower and then you put lotion on?
Yes. Oh, we get it. It starts to sweat and then it slides.
It just dries you all up. When this Vegas air, it's crazy.
I know. Believe me, I know.
Baby oil. Trying to make you shine.
A little just cocoa butter, a little African salve or something that we put on.
You need to get some shea butter. Say some hotel, exactly. This is expensive.
5-finger discount on my shea butter. That's great. That's great. Thanks, Phil.
Official sponsor.
Official sponsor of the Octagon. Grab yourself some.
That's great.